I started with only $100 and I turned it into 100,000 using this layout. Now what I realized is that most people waste a lot of money in this game, and here's how you can fix that. So let's get started with a brand new plot right now, and let's go ahead and show you what this is all about. So the first mistake is, and this is the most important decision of your entire playthrough, is deciding which location you want to start with. Now, Japan is pretty solid, but what I have found is that the most expensive items are from the United Kingdom. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now I can name this whatever I want, and I can go ahead and press create. And that is the first step complete, having the UK as my first location. Now next up, my main goal should be rearranging this into a specific design. So this is a very specific design right here. I'm going to grab one of the tables, right, and I'm going to go and press G, and by pressing G I can change the grid size. So I'm going to have it slanted like this, and this will make it so that I can go ahead and put a chair here and it'll still count towards a table. So I can have a table of 4 like that, and eventually I can go and move, grab a new chair, and I'll put it here, and that's a table of 5, and same thing on the opposite side, which makes a table of 6, all from this 1x1 cheapest table available. You can easily have a table of 6. So that will help you guys get to your first probably 10k with that layout. You just want to repeat that probably around 10 different tables on your plot. Preferably you will want to tear down these walls. You can press store on the windows if you'd like, or you can just press sell and just tear them down, because you do need more space in order to do this. And also another tip is that when you have these kitchenware here, you want the kitchen area to be as close as possible to your main dining area. So for example, let's say that my entire plot is, okay, I'm going to go get rid of these. Okay, let's say my entire plot is just this stove, this ordering counter, and this kitchen top. So with these 3 items, I want to make sure that they are faced towards each other. That would be the most efficient. So I'd have the oven facing towards me like this, I'd have the kitchen facing towards me like this, and I'd have the kitchen right inside of the oven, basically kissing it. And I'd have the ordering counter facing towards me like this. Well, not facing towards me, but facing towards these 2 things. So what your chefs will do is they will just stay right here, and they'll barely move at all while going to do any of these 3 actions. And meanwhile, you want to have your table as close as possible as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put my table like right here, have my chair like that, my 2 chairs like that, and so on and so forth. I can move a chair here, and of course I can move everything here to the right by about 2 studs, so I can go and put in 2 more chairs on this side, but you get the point. I can have tables of 6 with these things very lightly packed. So with these things tightly packed, then I can go ahead and cook very, very efficiently. Now let's say you've been playing this for a little bit longer and you actually have enough money to go and hire some staff. Now on this profile I don't have enough, but on the other profile I do, so I'm actually going to go and hop to my other profile real quick. Let's go with this one, and I have quite a bit of money. As you can see, the 100,000 from the thumbnail came from here. Now I can go to my staff, and I'll go ahead and show you guys all different staff and which ones you want to hire first. So the first option you have is between a chef and a waiter. Now you may be tempted to do a chef, as the chef is probably the most dirty work, over here just cooking everything, and the waiter, you just occasionally click the ordering stand, click a table, and click one of the you people that come in, greet them to a table. So you might think that you want to hire a chef, but that's actually counterintuitive. Now here's why. Eventually into the game, you will need to get yourself some high profit foods, okay? There's a lot of foods here, and the high profit foods are the ones at the very bottom. For example, let's put mochi on the menu. I could either choose between mochi, $5, or dango, which is 14. Now, the choice is obvious between these two. You obviously want to go ahead and get the most expensive option. Therefore, I'll go ahead and remove this. And in addition, this isn't even the biggest price yet, because I can left click it and I can boost the price to $19 using these ingredients. Now, how do you actually go ahead and get these ingredients? Well, that is the tricky part. You want to go click on the milestones here, and you want to make sure that a couple of these skills are level 5 so you can unlock the respective shop. For chopping, it'd be butchering. For baking, it'd be bakery. For frying, it'd be fishmonger, so on and so forth. Now, the most important ones will be chopping, baking, and frying. And you guessed it, the only way to get that is to actually do the cooking yourself and not be lazy about it. Now, in order to do the cooking yourself, it is best to go and hire one of these waiters as your first option instead of a chef as your first option. So go ahead, do yourself a favor and hire a waiter, and after you've gotten the waiter, then I wouldn't go and hire a chef. I would actually go into the upgrade and buy a couple of the upgrades such as the tip jar and other things that will help you massively. Now, why the tip jar? The tip jar is probably the best upgrade. Tip jar costs, I think it's 150, 250. Either way, it's really cheap, but look at how much money it can make you. The return on investment is literally hundreds of 10,000s of times. No, 10,000% of return on investment. It is just so good. So you need to get the tip jar as soon as possible. Now, at this next stage of the game, you likely have between $1,000 to $5,000 in your pocket right now, and you've hired 2, 3, 4 different types of workers. You've got a couple of the basic upgrades, and what's next? Well, what's next is after you get a few thousand, you want to switch your layout to precisely this exact layout over here. Now, how this works, let's take a look at this table. This is the main part. Okay, let's actually go in. Can I just drag this? Yes, I can drag this. So we'll start off with this table. This is a 3x1 table. I'm stuck in the table. This 3x1 table is down here, standard table, 250. You get this 3x1. And this is the cheapest 3x1 table, which is also the cheapest table you can actually get 10 customers on. Now, I think it is possible to get 10 customers on a 2x2 table, which is this one table, but it just costs so much more. It costs 430 compared to this costing 250, and this is also more compact. This takes up 3 different main grids of space. 3 different main grids of space, if I can just put on there. 3 main grids of space, while this 2x2 table takes up 4 grids of space. So this is just simply more efficient. So you'll have this table here, you'll have 2 chairs on either side, and you'll change your grid size, okay? Change your grid size, and then you can fit 4 chairs on this side. And as you can see, half of the chair is hanging out. Same technique as we've done before, and just repeat that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and move this table back because I wanna be able to keep my customers like here. So just gonna move these back. But you want to go ahead and repeat this on your entire plot. Just have a whole bunch of these. Now, me personally, I have approximately, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24 of these different tables. And I have 24 of them. Now, that will be very expensive for you guys to get that many tables and chairs. So I do recommend you guys just start off with 5 and then you can build upwards. And also, you might be wondering why some areas here only have 9 chairs per table, or even this one that has 8. And this is simply because you want your workers to be efficient. So, with the waiters, how their passing will work is basically they'll go along the most efficient path that is not blocked. So, basically, if I have an open space here where there's no chairs or anything inside, then waiters will be able to go and walk along this path. But if it's fully blocked, like right here it's fully blocked, then instead they'll go around it. Unless there's no other path to get to the desired location, then they'll actually go ahead and walk through obstacles. But that is still pretty inefficient because the AI is still really wonky right now, and they may just try to go over here, which is also the closest distance to the said object that they want to go to. without actually glitching through walls. So after all of that, then you just repeat that a few times. You get a whole bunch of tables, get all the upgrades, get all your workers, get them all to level 5, and you're well on your way to making $100,000.